everybody, welcome to day 2 lecture and principles of baking. It's a pretty long lecture today, so we're going to be breaking it into 2 parts. Be on the lookout. We might have some special guests coming in today. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But I think that might happen. But what we're going to start talking about is sugars, fats, and oils. Now, remember, these are our moisturizing and tenderizing ingredients. You can also follow along with all this on our PowerPoint. So if you feel like you're getting too jostled or you feel like you're too tired to take notes, don't worry, no problem. They are on the PowerPoint. All right, so when we're talking about sugars, let's go ahead and start with something that we know. Fructose. Fructose is a natural invert sugar that is found in fruit and honey. So, what does that mean to be inverted? I don't know. Maybe it means that things are fluid. So, oh, hello, Superwoman. What have you there? Honey. See how honey pours like that? That's because it's inverted, and it's naturally occurring in honey. Okay? Thank you, Superwoman. All right, let's talk about maltose. Maltose is in malt syrup, malted milk balls, all of those fun things. That's malt. It has a different flavor profile than honey, and it has a different flavor profile than regular granulated sugar. Our regular granulated sugar is sucrose. So sucrose is that white sugar that we typically use all of the time, and it's what we also call table sugar. So we've got fructose, which is in fruit and honey. We've got maltose, which is what we use for our malted milk balls. We've got sucrose, that is our natural occurring table sugar. And let's talk about lactose. Where does it come from? Lactose comes from milk. So think about being lactose intolerant. People can't have dairy. That's because they can't process the actual sugar that is found in milk. All right, now, what about fats? We know that they're also moisturizing and tenderizing ingredients. What are those fats? So we have butter, we've got lard, and we've got hydrogenated oil that would be like Crisco. So what is it about butter, lard, and Crisco? Oh, butter! Butter is a saturated fat. Thank you, Mr. Potato Head. He's saturated, he's a solid at room temperature, except this one is a little bit smushy, gushy, ishy, right, Superwoman? So it's a little gushy because it's been sitting out for a little bit. And as you can see, this is plant-based butter. Here you go, Mr. Potato Head. So there are those options of plant-based saturated fats. And Crisco, or shortening, is also a plant-based fat, okay? So we've hydrogenated that fat, and now we have this solid mass of what used to be a liquid at room temperature, or a liquid in its natural state. We forced it to be a solid. So things that are a solid at room temperature are saturated fats. Things that are liquid at room temperature are unsaturated fats. Sorry, it's starting to freeze up. My screen is starting to freeze up. So anyway, now, so we've got lard, butter, and hydrogenated oil. Those are all considered fats. They are all doing the shortening of the gluten strands. That's where we get that term shortening, for the shortening of the gluten strands. Then we have oils. So we have vegetable oil, canola oil, nut oil, olive oil. All of those oils also shorten gluten strands, but they're utilized in a different way. Okay, so oils are liquid at room temperature. Thanks, Batman. They're going to pour. They're used for batter, and we use this a lot of times when our leavening ingredient is going to be something other than a method. It's not a creaming method. We need an oil because we're going to be using something like baking soda or baking powder that goes off of the acid-alkaline reaction. But they still are shortening gluten strands. Yeah. All right, let's talk about stabilizers or tougheners. All right, so we know that our moisturizers, tenderizers make our mouthfeel of our product nice and soft and melts away in your mouth. So they have their place. They also coat the gluten strands and shorten them. They also coat our starch molecules to keep things from going bad too rapidly. Well, when we're talking about stabilizers and tougheners, we've got a whole nother ball of wax to deal with. And we're going to talk more about those in the next section of this video.